Hello and welcome back to everyone on Football Zone and to a midweek review, reviewing the Premier League action from this week and starting off with Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2, the game that ultimately spelled the end for Thomas Frank. Newcastle thought they took the lead through Joe Willock, but just a few minutes after that it was Thiago who gave them the lead before Archie Gray equalised, but Jacob Ramsey a few minutes after that restored Newcastle's lead. And yeah, I'd say Newcastle just about deserving winners here. And yeah, Tottenham's form has been unacceptable, and you'd have to say it probably is the right time for Thomas Frank to go. And you know, that relegation word, could it really become a worry for them? Who knows? Moving on into Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. Disappointing for Everton this. And Dyche gave Everton the lead just before half-time, before Adil equalised for Bournemouth in the 64th minute, and Rayan made it 2-1. O'Brien was then sent off not long after that, and yeah, a really bad 10 minutes for Everton. I thought a good performance from them. I mean, yeah, it's kind of ruined in that short period of time, wasn't it? So yeah, deeply disappointing for them. But for Bournemouth, I think they'll see it as a bit of a smash and grab, but a good win for them. Moving on into Chelsea 2, Leeds 2 at Stamford Bridge, and João Pedro who gave Chelsea lead, and Cole Palmer who made it 2 before a penalty from Nemecha and in the 73rd minute made it 2-2. And yeah, Chelsea dominated this game. Palmer missing a huge chance at the end, and I think Chelsea will be very disappointed, especially from 2-0 up, to drop 2 points here. Yeah, really does feel like a disappointing result for them, you'd have to say. But for Leeds, I mean, great fighting spirit for them to come and get a result. Moving on into West Ham 1, Manchester United 1 at the London Stadium. And yeah, another interesting game between these two sides. Souček gave West Ham lead in the 50th minute before Casemiro had a goal to stand in the 63rd minute, and Sesko levelled late up, but no 5 wins in a row for Manchester United. And yeah, to be fair, quite an even game this one. Not a lot to choose between the two sides, and I think West Ham, though, having held a lot lead, will be gutted not to come away with a win here. Moving on into a second game that spelled the end for a Premier League manager this week. Nottingham Forest 0, Wolves 0. And yeah, I mean, Nottingham Forest absolutely dominated this game. 35 shots, 10 on target, 4 big chances, but they couldn't breach the Wolves goal. 2.73 XG, a real smash and grab point for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Their keeper Jose Sarr having a great game. So yeah, they'll be absolutely devastated not to win this. And Sean Dyche, I mean, it feels ridiculously harsh, doesn't it? Moving on into West Ham 1, Manchester. We took off of that, sorry, haven't we? Manchester United City 3, Fulham 0, and it was Semenyo, O'Reilly and Haaland with the goals. I mean, all 3 after 39 minutes. And to be honest, after that, Fulham gave it a bit of a go. But obviously, by that point, it was all too little, too late. A very, very comfortable day for Man City. And, you know, with Arsenal playing 24 hours later, they were obviously able to build the pressure on a bit. So, yeah, good result for them. But for Fulham, it's always going to be a tough one, isn't it? Moving on into Burnley, and yeah, what an incredible comeback victory for them. 2-0 down to Crystal Palace through 2 goals from Strand Arsenal. He looks like a decent signing, before Mejbri, Anthony and Lerma with an own goal. 44, 40 and 45 plus 2, so all in a very short period of time. Except for that, they offered pretty little, and Palace will be wondering how they lost that game. A bit like Everton, like we discussed, a funny 5 minutes for them, deeply disappointing. Moving on into Aston Villa 1, Brighton 0, and it took a very late goal and a Hinselwood own goal. And yeah, not a lot to pick between these two sides. Wasn't the greatest game in the world, I've got to be honest. But you know, Villa took their chance, or an own goal, and got the win. Keeps them, maybe in the title race there or thereabouts. But I think for them, it's more about just taking that place in the Champions League, and that obviously leaves them on course to do it. Moving on into Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1, and one of the teams chasing them down is of course Liverpool, and yeah, big win for them. Van Dijk with a goal in the 61st minute, and to be honest, this was probably one of the best we've seen Liverpool play for quite a long time. So yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. A really good win for them, and yeah, I think hopefully we'll see that more consistently now. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So yeah, Sunderland, I don't know, it seems like they're on a bit of a tough run at the moment, but Liverpool, it's a much needed performance from them. Brentford 1, Arsenal 1 was the score at the G-Tech Community Stadium. And yeah, I mean, this was, to be honest, a game where Brentford were probably the team that was more unlucky not to win. Madueke gave Arsenal lead in the second half, and just 10 minutes after that, Brentford levelled things up. And to be honest, after that, both teams had their chances, but it was Brentford that was really going for it. So yeah, disappointed day for Arsenal. Still got a 4-point title lead, but nerves will kick in as it goes down, won't they? But for Brentford, another great result, and Keith Andrews, yeah, what job he's doing. Moving on into a preview of some games coming up. I'm not going to do the FA Cup, but I'll look ahead to next week's midweek games. Starting off with Wolves against Arsenal. And yeah, this is an interesting one. I think Arsenal obviously will be considered massive favourites for this one, but at the same time, you never know what Wolves could do. They could really put up a fight and maybe give Arsenal a challenge. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to say it will be Arsenal who come away with a win here. I think it'll be pretty comfortable. It's all about just keeping building up that lead, really, isn't it? Moving on into Karabag against Newcastle in the Champions League. And yeah, I feel like this thing could really, be one that Newcastle should look to win pretty comfortably. I mean, Karabag are a decent side. Obviously, they got some decent results to qualify. But I just think... it will be Newcastle who probably come away with a win here. I think, tough place to go, but I think, look at the difference in the quality in the two sides, and Newcastle should have more than enough. Moving on into Fenerbahce versus Nottingham Forest, and I'm filming this at the point where Sean Dyche has been sacked, but currently not aware of who the replacement will be. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. This one, I feel like it could go either way, really. I think, obviously, Fenerbahce, for me, tough opponent at this stage of the Europa League. For Nottingham Forest, though, I mean, they've got to start picking up results from somewhere. Their Premier League form will be a huge worry. I'm going to say it could be a draw here, 1-1.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe for our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.